Namaskar, colleagues. Namaskar, Indian community. Greetings to all of you on the occasion of India's 74th Independence Day. I will now read the excerpts from the address to the nation by the Rashtrapati Ji on the eve of the 74th Independence Day. And thereafter, we will play the pre-recorded videos of the messages which we have received from the Indian diaspora in Haiti and Dominican Republic. And then we have the pre-recorded videos prepared by Friends of India in Cuba. I will start with the excerpts from the address to the nation by the Rashtrapati Ji on the eve of the Independence Day. My dear fellow citizens, it gives me great pleasure to greet all the people of India living in the country and abroad on the eve of the 74th Independence Day. The ethos of our freedom struggle forms the foundation of modern India. Our visionary leaders brought together a diversity of worldviews to forge a common national spirit. We are fortunate that Mahatma Gandhi became the guiding light of our freedom movement. As much a saint as a political leader, he was a phenomenon that could have happened only in India. Troubled by social strife, economic problems, and climate change, the world seeks relief in Gandhiji's teachings. His quest for equality and justice is the mantra for our republic. I am glad to see the younger generations rediscover Gandhiji. The celebrations of Independence Day this year will be rather restrained. The reason is obvious. It is very reassuring to note that the central government, while anticipating the tremendous challenge, responded effectively and well in time. The nation is indebted to doctors, nurses, and other health workers who have been continuously on the forefront of our fight against this virus. Unfortunately, many of them have lost their lives battling the pandemic. They are our national heroes. They go much beyond their call of duty to save lives and ensure essential services. By introducing Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, the government has enabled crores of people to earn their livelihood and mitigate the impact of job loss, dislocation, and disruption caused by the pandemic. In order to ensure that migratory ration card holders get ration anywhere in the country, all states are being brought under the coverage of One Nation, One Ration Card scheme. Committed to taking care of our people stranded anywhere in the world, the government has brought back more than 10 lakh Indians under the Vande Bharat mission. In responding to calls from countries for supply of medicines, India has once again shown that it stands by the global community in times of distress. We have seen at the forefront in evolving regional and global strategies for an effective response to the pandemic. The overwhelming support India got at the elections for the non-permanent seat of the United Nations Security Council is a testimony to the goodwill we enjoy internationally. Even while the world community needs to fight together against the greatest challenge before humanity, some in our neighborhood try to carry out their misadventure of expansion. Our brave soldiers laid down their lives defending our borders. Those worthy sons of Bharat Mata lived and died for national pride. The entire nation salutes the martyrs of Galwan Valley. Every Indian feels grateful to their family members. Their bravery in combat has demonstrated that while we believe in peace, we are also capable of giving a befitting response to any attempt of aggression. We are proud of the members of our armed forces, paramilitary forces, and police personnel who protect the borders and ensure our internal security. We have learned some tough lessons in the year 2020. The invisible virus has demolished the illusion that human being is the master of nature. I believe it is not too late for humanity to correct its course and live in harmony with nature. In my view, human-centric collaboration is more important than economy-centric inclusion in the present context. The second lesson is that we are all equal before Mother Nature, and we primarily depend on our fellow residents for survival and growth. Compassion and mutual help have been adopted as basic values by the people in India. We need to further strengthen this virtue in our conduct. Only then we create a better future for all of us. The third lesson is about augmenting health infrastructure. The fourth lesson relates to science and technology. During the lockdown and subsequent unlocking, information and communication technology has emerged as an effective tool for governance, education, business, office work, and social connect. It has helped meet the twin objectives of saving lives and resumption of activities. Offices of the Government of India and of the state governments have been extensively using virtual interface to discharge their functions. Work from home has become the norm in many sectors. Technology has enabled certain establishments in government and private sectors to work overtime to keep the wheels of the economy running. These lessons will prove useful to humanity. With a view to providing futuristic education to our children and youth, the central government has decided to implement the National Education Policy. This policy spells a long-term vision with far-reaching impact. It will strengthen the culture of inclusion, innovation, and institution in the sphere of education. My dear fellow citizens, only 10 days ago, construction of the temple of Sri Ram Janmabhoomi began in Ayodhya. It was indeed a moment of pride for all. People of the country maintained restraint and patience for a long time and reposed unflinching trust in the judicial system. The issue of Ram Janmabhoomi was resolved through judicial process. All concerned parties and the people respectfully accepted the verdict of the Supreme Court and displayed before the world Indian ethos of peace, non-violence, love, and harmony. I congratulate all fellow citizens for their commendable conduct. Dear fellow citizens, when India won freedom, many predicted that our experiment with democracy will not last long. They saw our ancient traditions and rich diversity as hurdles in democratization of our policy. But we have always nurtured them as our strengths that make the largest democracy in the world so vibrant. India has to continue playing its leading role for the betterment of humanity. We have a lot to offer to the global community, especially for intellectual and spiritual enrichment and promotion of world peace. I once again congratulate you on the eve of 74th Independence Day. I wish you good health and a bright future. Thank you. Jai Hind. Now, those were the excerpts from Rashtrapati Ji's address to the nation on the eve of Independence Day. We have also heard Prime Minister's speech delivered from the ramparts of the Red Fort. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today addressed the nation. He spoke for about 1.5 hours about the various initiatives that the government has taken and the schemes implemented for the betterment of every section of our society. He spoke about the challenges we face today and the opportunities we have in front of us. The Prime Minister exhorted citizens to move towards building an Atmanirbhar Bharat, which is the need of the hour. He said that when a child becomes 21, the parents say that now that you are grown up, you should be standing on your feet. And the same holds true for our nation. We are 73-year-old now, and we should be standing on our feet. Whether it is our economy, whether it is defense, or anything that is related to our day-to-day needs. This has been so simply put forward by the Prime Minister, such a simple analogy and a very strong message. We have to realize the strengths of our country, especially the demographic structure and the geopolitical situation, and work towards that. We, as a mission, will continue to work hard, as we have been doing during the pandemic situation, with patience and alacrity, 24/7. We have been able to help our fellow citizens in Cuba, Haiti, and Dominican Republic during the crisis situation. I take this opportunity to thank the Indian Association Haiti and the diaspora in Dominican Republic, especially our President, India DR Chamber of Commerce, and our honorary consuls in both these countries for all their support. I once again thank you all, and I'm confident that you will continue to maintain caution and stay safe. Once again, congratulations to all of you on the occasion of our Independence Day. Thank you. Jai Hind.